So in this video, we're going to go ahead and cover exactly how to land your first SMMA client in the next 30 days. And this is going to be based on if you are cash rich or if you are time rich. I think if you watch this video in its entirety, it will help you regardless of who you are. Because you either have cash right now that you can invest in client acquisition systems such as email or ads, or you probably have $0 and you're like, I have all the time in the world and I have $0 to get started, so what do I do in this case? So we're going to go ahead and dive into that right away. So let's get ahead and get started. The first thing is landing your first client is typically going to be the hardest, okay? From my personal experience and from experience of people that I'm currently helping, the first client is usually the hardest. And it's usually the hardest because of a couple of reasons. Number one, you lack experience, okay? If you lack experience, it's hard, right? If you have never done something before, theoretically, it's easy to do it again if you've already did it versus if you're doing it for the first time. And the second thing is confidence, right? If you've never gotten on a sales call before with someone, if you've never had someone actually pay you for your services, you probably lack the confidence versus if you already did it a few times, got on a bunch of sales calls and actually closed a couple of clients. So what you need to understand is that the first client that you are going to close is going to be the hardest. Now, that doesn't mean that the second and the third is going to be easy, right? What it means is it's going to be simpler, if you will, okay? And again, it's going to be because you lack experience and you don't have confidence. So if you understand that, what it will do is it will help you when you're doing the outreach, whether that's ads or whether that's manual DMs, it will help you because you'll understand that yeah, I'm sending, a bunch of DMs or I've spent X amount of dollars on ads, but I'm not yet able to get my client. If you understand that the first one is going to be the hardest, then it will allow you to keep on going, right? Rather than giving up early. So I think you need to put that in the back of your mind that it only gets easier from here, from the perspective of closing clients in your agency. Number two is it's easier than it seems if you are part of a mentorship program. So landing your first client is actually easier if you are part of something like we have going on here at AP. And I don't just say that because this is my program. I genuinely mean that if you join a SMMA mentorship program versus a SMMA course, the SMMA course is going to be really harder to actually go out and apply these things versus if you have something like AP where we actually implement these systems in your agency, right? So if you do the latter, it's going to be much easier because rather than watching a bunch of videos on how to do Loom outreach, on how to do Instagram DMs, on how to run ads, rather than watching these videos and then go in there and try to apply it yourself, it's going to be easier if you had someone holding your hand and building these systems for you in your agency, right? So again, courses show you how to do it, and then they tell you to go ahead and do it yourself. Our approach here at Agency Protocols is different. We build up to 5 client acquisition systems for your agency in-house that you own. And basically, you don't have to rely on other agencies, for example, like a lead gen agency, to generate you more leads. Because if you have the same exact system that they're using, and you have it internally, right, in-house, and you actually own and manage that system yourself, then it's going to be significantly easier than that of a course where you watch a bunch of videos and then you're told on how to go ahead and do it, but then you go do it and you realize that it's harder and that you still have questions that you can't get answered, okay? So it's actually easier than it seems, and I'll go ahead and show you guys a few of our clients who are complete newbies, joined AP, again, our mentorship program, and actually started crushing it. So let's have a look at a few. This is Brandon right here, okay? And this is a super long win, so bear with me, but we'll kind of just break down the part that is most important. So over here, Brandon said, I joined AP 5 weeks ago, and my agency launched ads within 2 weeks, okay? So by launched, I mean that we were running ads from our agency, officially prospecting for customers. So check this out. He says, in 3 weeks of launching, here are some major updates. Number one is we signed the first client within a week. Okay, again, it's very doable. Brandon is not someone who, has experience in the agency space. Okay, he's just another individual like you. Okay, he closed his first client in the first week, and then he closed 4 clients later that month. Right? He says 2 more pending this week, and then 2 more pending last week. I actually spoke with him a couple days ago, and as of right now, he has closed a total of 9 clients. Okay, and again, he joined us 5 weeks ago and was able to close 5 clients within 5 weeks. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to get results just like him. It might take you longer. It might take you shorter. But the point is, this guy is a complete newbie, joined a mentorship program here at AP, and rather than spend hours consuming a bunch of videos and then go and implement it himself, we actually mentored him on exactly what he needs to do. The 3 things: offer, service delivery, and client acquisition. All right, and let me go ahead and show you some other wins over here. So if we take a look at some other wins, let's have a look. So this is Rebel, January 21st, officially closed 3 clients at my agency, all on free trial, 2 for $1,500 and then 1 for $2,000. And this was like 4 weeks after joining agency protocols, okay? So if these guys, complete newbies, can close clients, okay, you can too. But you got to ask yourself, why is it harder for me? It's harder for you because you're probably relying on YouTube videos, or you're probably relying on courses that you bought that, again, don't actually give you the implementation. Rather, they're just selling you the information, okay? What I'm going to show you in this video is enough information that you actually need to go ahead and close your first client. So you don't need to invest in a course, okay? What you need to do is 2 things. Either 1, take this information and start applying it right away, or 2, stop consuming content, join a mentorship program where they're going to help you hold your hand step by step and implement these systems within your business. All right, now I can go through a bunch of more wins, but I think you guys get the point. All right, let's go back to this right here. Okay, so here's my advice, depending on if you are time rich, right, or if you are cash rich, because those are 2 different things. You might be watching this video and you have $0, or you might be watching this video and you have a bunch of money that you can spend in ads. So let's talk about if you are cash rich, which is honestly what Brandon and Rebel and a few other students that we have did. If you are cash rich, then it's great because you can essentially put yourself and put your agency in front of more people, okay? So if you're cash rich, we're talking about at least 1.5 to 2K. That's what we consider quote unquote cash rich. Obviously, if you have more money, the better. Now, if you are cash rich, the first place is going to be paid ads. So by far, the best and the fastest way to land your first client is by running ads. All right, and this is going to be at around $50 a day, right? $30 to $50 a day is what we recommend. So that would be about 1.5K for the whole month. Now, granted, doesn't mean you're going to spend 1.5K and not land a client. As I showed you in the examples, you know, a couple of these students that we have, they didn't even spend the 1.5K before landing their first client. So you might spend $300 or $500 and you might land your first client that pays you $2,000. Regardless of the point, $30 to $50 a day is what you should be spending on ads if you have the money to actually invest in ads. I would recommend paid ads as the number 1. Again, by the way, guys, we implement these systems for our clients in our agency, right? So if you are someone that wants these systems implemented for you, there's going to be a link down below where you can schedule a call and see if this is a good fit. If it is, great. We'll go ahead and walk you through exactly what that looks like. And if it's not, it's totally fine, okay? So email marketing is the second thing. This is by far the second in terms of the fastest and more efficient. And the reason this works, and quite frankly why paid ads works as well, is because it's all about volume, okay? So partners that we have here at AP send anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 a day. And I can give you guys the Diodric example if we look at Diodric right here. So Diodric does his own email and his LinkedIn outreach. So let's take a look at some of these results from Diodric. Okay, so here's Diodric. So far booked 4 meetings myself with LinkedIn outreach. That's really great. Here we go. 3 meetings booked last week, 4 meetings booked this week, and so far about to close 3 more meetings. With a bit of luck, I will close a new customer today. Performance-based, 500 euros per booked appointment. Really great. Again, sign my second customer, 500 euros per booked appointment. Diodric, crushing it here. 25 active leads in the pipeline, all at different stages. Again, email market, I think this is from LinkedIn outreach, but again, he's doing both LinkedIn and email. And I'm showing you guys this to show you that it's all about volume game, right? He's doing volume and it's working for him. Let's have a look. He said, if I get 10 customers, 10 booked appointments, I will be at 8K MRR. With 2 more customers, I'll be at 15K. Let's have a look. 3rd customer signed, can now invest in a customer success manager. Expected at least 2 to 4 customers next month. Really great. February 1st, 4th customer signed, started 20th of December, under 6 weeks. So under 6 weeks of joining agency protocols, he signed his 4th customer. Okay, so I'm showing you guys these things not to give you, what is the word I'm looking for? Expectations, that's what it is. It's not to give you wrong expectations. I'm showing you this to show you that it's possible. For you, it might be longer, it might be shorter. The whole idea is it's a volume game. This guy, under 6 weeks of joining agency protocols, and he already signed his 4th customer. He started on December 20th, and he uploaded this on February 1st. So this is really great. Here's, again, Diodric, February 7th, 11 meetings booked so far. Let's have a look. Signed 3 clients in 1 week, optimizing the process. So again, it's enough, but I can show you guys, I can keep on showing you guys a few more, but you get the point, right? Email marketing works great. It's the second client acquisition system that I would recommend if you are cash rich. And this will cost you, if you join AP, we implement the system for you. So all you pay for is the software. So if you're thinking about sending 1,000 emails a day, it will cost you probably around $500 to $600 a month. And this is going to include, like the software, the lead list, the domains, the emails, all that good stuff. So the second best thing is email marketing. And again, this is if you are cash rich, which you should have anywhere between $1.5K to $2,000 a month. Number two is if you are time rich. Okay, so let's say you're like, I don't have any money. I'm, still in high school or in college, or I just don't have the funds. I live in a third world country and I don't have the funds to spend. So let's say you're time rich. And by this, we mean like $0 to $100. Well, in that case, we have a few client acquisition systems that we would recommend. And again, this is stuff that we implement for you here at Agency Protocols. Number one is LinkedIn prospecting. And with LinkedIn prospecting, you can send anywhere between 100 connections per day. And then once the connection is made, you actually start a conversation. That's what Deodric is doing. That's how you guys were able to see like 25 active leads in the pipeline and just a bunch of meetings booked, 4 customers signed in 6 weeks, all from LinkedIn prospecting. And we actually have a course that we will be uploading to YouTube completely free for you guys on exactly how to do this LinkedIn prospecting. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I highly recommend that you do so. The second client acquisition system is Instagram DMs. And with Instagram DMs, you can send anywhere between 50 to 200 DMs a day. And once you send this DM, you want to go ahead and start a conversation and actually make a pitch. Now, the way that we do it here at Agency Protocols, the way I've been able to do it inside of Skool and scale our agency to over 20 clients within the first quarter is by not pitching people in the DMs. You guys probably get these DMs where they're like, hey man, I can guarantee you XYZ. It's just very salesy, right? You might have the best product, but the way you're communicating it, people are just desensitized to these DMs. So what we do is we actually provide value. We genuinely provide value. We find problems that people have and we provide them with the solutions, whether that be a video that I have on my YouTube channel, whether that be video assets that I've recorded for these purposes, or quite frankly, even if it's a video that we don't have, it's on someone else's channel and we think it can help this individual, we'll send it to them. So Instagram DMs, it'll be anywhere between 50 to 200 DMs a day. And again, the whole idea is to start a conversation with your ideal prospects on either Instagram or Facebook. The third client acquisition system for if you are time rich is going to be community prospecting. Now, this is slept on. It genuinely is slept on. Okay, prospecting in communities is the exact reason why we've been able to scale AP to where it's at right now. And the idea here is to find communities where your ideal clients hang out and then pitch them your services. So for example, I can go ahead and show you guys over here. If we take a look at some of these groups that we're in, let's take a look at this group right here. Now guys, like I respect these people in this space and I respect people and not just like be pitching them, like the way you see these pitches. We genuinely provide value. I'll give you guys an example of how we do this. So let's take a look here. This guy's asking a question. He's like, does anyone have experience with Apollo? Is it worth it? He gives me an option to create an Excel sheet with 1,000 records for $59 a month as I plan on cold email automation. So I would like to hear if someone is experienced with it. This guy, instead of literally telling him, hey dude, we have a consulting program and one of the client acquisition systems that we implement in your business is an email marketing system. Would you like me to, send you a video on exactly how to do this? Instead of doing that, which there's nothing wrong with it. I genuinely think that we could help this guy. Perfect example. He uploaded an hour ago. I genuinely think that if he joined AP, he wouldn't have to worry about any of these things, right? Because we would implement the system for him, right? And show him how the system actually works. That said, the way I would pitch this guy would be to genuinely answer his question. I would reply to whatever the answer to this question is, okay? And then that right there allows us to start a conversation. He's going to check it out and he's going to work and he's going to be like, thanks, man. I tried it and it works, or I appreciate your opinion. From there, we can ask follow-up questions like, how do you plan on doing this? How do you plan on doing this? Do you plan on doing the email outreach yourself, or do you have someone that's doing it? No, I plan on doing it myself. Well, what else you got going on? He's going to be like, I'm also doing X, Y, and Z. I'm doing all of these things myself. This is where we can come and pitch. You could be like, honestly, dude, I think you doing everything yourself is not the best thing for this specific reason. And he's going to be like, what's the solution? And then that's where we go ahead and make the pitch. So you see, people don't have a problem being pitched. It's just that when you are pitching them right away and not providing any value or any context to what you're pitching, they can see right through it. And like I said, people are desensitized to this, especially people in our space, in the marketing space. They're desensitized to it. I see it myself. I get pitched every single day inside of Instagram, and I don't even look at the messages, regardless if the person has something of value or not. And that's because it's a pitch. They're not helping me directly. They're more so pitching their services. It's like looking at these people as a transaction. You don't want to do that. You don't want to look at people as a transaction. You want to genuinely provide value, and then from there, you can go ahead and make the pitch. So going back to what we were saying, this is community prospecting. I just gave you the example of this community where I can go in here and I can see these people are having questions. I can answer their questions, start a conversation, and then there's going to come a time where we pitch. And to be honest, when we do this, sometimes it goes like 3 weeks of us talking to the same person before we actually go ahead and make a pitch. That's what it takes, okay? People don't want to be pitched, rather they want to be helped. And you can pitch them after you actually help them. It's kind of like the idea of like jab, 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 right hook, but you put it into like prospecting, if you will. Provide so much value so that when you make the pitch, people are like, okay, this guy is being genuine with me, provide me all this value. Let me at least book a call and see what he can offer me in his paid thing, right? Program, course, whatever it is. So let's go back to it. That is the third. The fourth client acquisition system for if you are time rich and cash poor is going to be cold calling. Okay, cold calling is slept on, guys. If you are working, let's say, with a local business and you have no money, you should be dialing every day. And I would recommend at least 100 calls a day. Now, the way you do this is you want to go ahead and craft a no-brainer offer tailored to solving problems that your prospects have. And you start dialing right away. So you're like, well, what do I say and how do I do it? Well, here's what you do. Okay, you could watch videos on our channel that go over sales, if you will, but what you need to do, the number one thing you need to do is identify exactly what the heck are these problems that these people have. So if you're pitching, let's say, a local business, let's say in home improvement, understand exactly what they're looking for, right? What is going to get them to make sense of paying you $2,000 a month, right? From that, you're like, okay, what is the core problem here? Are they not getting more leads? Are they getting bad leads? Are they working with an agency that's burned them in the past? Understand what their core problems are. And then when you start cold calling, or quite frankly, in any prospecting method, once you understand the problems, you then can go ahead and tailor solutions to those problems. Okay? So rather than saying, I'm running your Facebook ads for a local business, you want to understand, are you guys even getting enough leads? Maybe you're getting a bunch of leads, but the leads are low quality. So that's the whole idea, is crafting a no-brainer offer based on the problems that your prospects have, and then start dialing. And look, I know cold calling sucks, and it might not be as effective as these other form of client acquisition channels that I showed you, but hey, if you don't have no money right now, you got to start with what you have. Get your first client, make some money, and then you can invest in other things such as email paid ads. And last thing I wanted to say was that all of this, guys, can be outsourced to someone for as little as $3 an hour, with the exception of the cold calling. The cold calling you're probably going to do yourself because you probably don't want someone from a third world country, and granted, it can still work, but the whole idea here is that, for example, the LinkedIn prospecting, the Instagram DMs, the community prospecting, the email marketing, and even the paid ads itself, I wouldn't recommend you do it yourself. I would recommend that you hire someone for, let's say, $3 an hour to go ahead and do this for you, okay? And that's exactly what we do here at Agency Protocols. We find and we train these people to do the prospecting on your behalf, whether that be LinkedIn, community prospecting, Instagram, and Facebook. So with that said, guys, that's how you go ahead and land your first client, based on if you have cash or if you don't have cash. If you have cash, ads is the best thing to start with, followed by email. If you have no money to invest, then LinkedIn prospecting, Instagram DMs, community prospecting, and cold calling is what you need to do. Right? So if you are someone who is like, this is great, MJ, it's all good, but I don't want to implement this myself, I need the help. Well, here's what I will tell you. I don't think you need a course. I don't think you need more information. Maybe you're just starting out, you have absolutely enough, you don't understand anything. Then I would say, okay, go at least watch a video on how the service delivery that you plan on offering works, so that you have context when you're actually pitching people. But if you are someone who's like, I don't want to watch videos on how to do this, I want someone to implement this for me, then I would like to invite you to book a call with us and see if Agency Protocols is a good fit for you, okay? It's a consulting business where we are not giving you a single video to watch. Rather, we're getting on a Zoom call, you and me, one-on-one, and we're going to do two things. So we're going to go ahead and help craft a no-brainer offer that is specifically for service market fit. Number two, we're going to go ahead and help you build the right team that you need, whether that be a media buyer, video editor, graphic designer. We'll actually find these people and then implement them in your business. And number three is client acquisition. We'll help implement these systems that I just mentioned to you here in your business. It could be one, it could be all. Depending on how much cash you have, if you have money, we would love to do the paid ads on the email. If you don't, we can implement these other systems. So those are the three things that we help you here at Agency Protocols. And again, this is a Zoom call, you and me, one-on-one, just like I just showed you with the examples of the people so far that are crushing it. We're only about 3 3.5 months into this journey. So I would love for you to be one of the first handful of people that join Agency Protocols. So again, if you're tired of watching videos like this and you just want implementation, book a call with us, see if we're a good fit. If we are, awesome, we'll go ahead and get you started, and hopefully you'll be posting on Skool just like these guys posting your wins. And look, if you're not for whatever reason, then that's totally fine. Okay, so with that said, I will see you guys in the next video.